Okay. I'll open up the chat box here. And yeah, we're gonna hang out for just a minute here. I was just uploading stuff up to Rumble, so brand new series I'm gonna try over on Rumble, and we'll see. So today, right now, I think I'm live. I don't know. We'll see. Look at that. Got one thumbs up. That's bitchin'. That is bitchin'. Guys, welcome back to the K6UDA. You know what? If I'm doing this over on Rumble, it'll be the K6UDA Guns and Ham radio show. If I'm doing this over on YouTube, it's K6UDA Live. So right now, K6UDA Live. This will be posted over on the Rumble channel. Man, I got high 59 BC from Boston Kovanik. Captain Wrong Way. I love that name. That's freaking cool. Yes, I am live 7.3s from Bergen, Zoom in the Netherlands. Holy shit, guys. I'm international. This is so cool. Very, very cool. Hey, let's see. Move over to camera 2. Welcome to the K6UDA studios in beautiful downtown rural Twin Falls, Idaho in the U.S. And we'll go back over to camera 1. Guys, man, I have was on vacation, so I didn't do any videos for a couple of weeks, and then I came home and I've been playing catch up with all the chores that you got to do when you've got property around here. So I have been kind of busy doing that. Randman is asking, did I go to Xenia? Nope, I didn't. You know what? It's on my bucket list. I wanted to go. I still want to go. One of these days I'll make it. But I did watch a lot of the videos that came out of there. I watched a lot of the news out of there, the big news from the majors out there, from Kenwood and ICOM. I guess are the ID50 from ICOM, which is a, I guess we'll just call it a replacement for the ID51, which has been around for years and years and years, and they discontinued the ID51 a few years back, made the ID52, and now they're making that less expensive version again. I guess ICOM felt the demand to do that. The other big news out of Dayton, I guess, from Kenwood back in the game after a fairly short hiatus. They're coming out with a replacement for the D74, which guys is my favorite HT. It's not cheap. As a matter of fact, I'm afraid to even really take mine outside. That thing cost me $600. on opening day, 5 or so years ago when that thing was introduced. So now a new D74, well, it's called the D75. And besides USB-C charging, which is a kind of a big deal because, USB-C is kind of the new thing. It's faster, it's better than USB 2.0 or USB whatever. Other than that, it looks pretty much like the D74. Little bit updated, which is kind of cool. I have no idea what the pricing is going to be on that. I knew a few months ago that Kenwood was coming out with something. I had a little birdie told me that they were, in fact, getting back into the ham radio game. But other than that, man, it was kind of one of those. Yeah, there wasn't really enough information for me to, jump on here and go scoop everybody and say, holy crap, guys, Kenwood's back in the game. So I sat on it. I waited. I think I might have mentioned it on a live show. And I know guys have been paying upwards to $800 to $900 for the D74s. After they were discontinued. The radio is that good. It really is. I gotta tell you, I am super, super impressed with the D74. I have no doubt that I'll be as impressed with the D75. I just don't know if it's worth it for me to buy it. I know now that my D74, I'm not going to be able to sell the D74 for $800. So, it is what it is. Let's see what else we got. What's up for Field Day from Brian Moss? Well, Field Day here in the Magic Valley of Idaho is we're actually going to do Field Day once again. We're going to do it here at the K6UDA Ranch. So I think we're going to be like a 3 or 4 E, which is a permanent station. I'm going to call it a club station because we got a lot of the club equipment that is being used over in Studio B. Which is, it ain't in the house. It's not near the house. And we're using emergency power. We use generators for the radios. So that is what that is. Let's see. From Randman. Look at that. It looks like Randman went to Dayton. And that would have been very cool. I kind of wish I would have gone. We had just like I said, we had just gotten back from California and spent a shit ton of money taking the kids to Disneyland. Not my favorite place to go patronize or spend my money, but it was for the little ones. And so we did it. Let's see. The D7 cost a lot more. Cost a lot more than lunch money back in the day, too. Yeah, that's one thing. Kenwood, they're proud of their stuff and they charge for it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll put that D74 up for sale. If anybody wants to buy a D74 well before the D75 comes out, send me an email, give me an offer, and maybe we'll make something happen. Who knows? Let's see. The FT5 for $299. Holy crap. I heard it was $329 for $299 for an FT5, actually. I might have to go buy another one. That's crazy. Chris is in the house there. 2E0UKH. The digital analog ham. And how you doing, Chris? If you guys haven't seen his show, go check out his show. And Life and Death with the IC706 discontinued. Used ones sold for 25% more than they did the last new ones. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Guys, I don't get it. I honestly don't. If you know something, and almost every single time, with the possible exception of Kenwood, every time a manufacturer discontinues a radio, take this one. Let's go over here. And this is my FTM 400. This was FTM 400 number 2 over here. And FTM 400 number 2 goes back and forth between here and the motorhome. FTM 400 number 1 was the one that I bought from a friend after I borrowed it for a review in the Jeep, and I put it in the Jeep. The last one I bought, I had to replace the radio in my pickup truck, and it was just time. I've had the ID 5100 in my pickup for Lord knows how long, and the display was so bad you could barely see it, just faded, and I still got to decide whether I'm gonna send it into ICOM and have them repair it, or is it just gonna sit? I don't know. But anyway, I put another FTM 400 in the truck because Fusion and Wires X are the dominant brand here in Idaho, pretty much. So, and then I got a cold. So I've kind of been battling the cold a little bit. But that's what's been going on around here. Well, anyway, after I bought that last FTM 400, a week after I bought the last FTM 400, when it was on sale, Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, a week later, they discontinued the FTM 400. Well, I knew it wouldn't be long before they would go ahead and introduce something new. And yeah, a month later, it was, here's the new candy FTM 500. And I'm going to borrow one and do a review. So I'll give you guys my honest opinion of the FTM 500. I've got a friend out here who just bought one, so I'll borrow his. I know some of you guys think that I get sent every freaking radio that hits the market, and I don't. I don't get sent a lot of things, so it comes out of my pocket, and I kind of got to decide what is important enough for me to spend my hard-earned money on and bring it to you guys. And I I gotta tell you, I am HT rich. I have the FT5. I have the ICOM ID52. I've got my D74. And I have an old ID51. Oh, yeah. And not to mention the 3 or 4 DMR radios that I have, including the Anytone 878. All of which I had to buy at some point because manufacturers don't just kick these things down. I know I know Bert always accuses me of getting everything thrown at me for free, and so I give glowing reviews, as he says, which is bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I will tell you when I don't like something, and it just so happens that the manufacturers are pretty on point with what they're putting out. Kind of minus the 878. I know the 878 kind of built like a brick shit house, and I like that. It's a good radio for that. It's loud, and I love that. The whole DMR thing, or the whole way that they're built to use a code plug, and to have a guy who is the guy in charge of the radios program them up and pass them out. That's the way DMR is done. I'm not a big fan of that. So anyway, I don't know if I'm buying an FTM 500. It's really going to depend on how I like it when I do a review. As you guys know, this FTDX10 sitting here, this was a very unexpected buy. Literally, this wasn't even on my radar. Wasn't even planning on doing videos on it. A friend of mine calls me up one day and says, "Hey, do you want to do a review on the Yaesu FTDX10?" I said, "Sure." He brought it over, and literally, this radio blew my socks off within 30 seconds of turning this thing on and listening to it out in Studio B. I knew I was buying one. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. This thing is that freaking nice. So, that was kind of an unexpected thing. Totally organic, guys. It wasn't like, somebody set me up with a 10 and promised me anything. Paid retail, called HRO, had it sent out. And that's the way it is. Let's see. John Tucker says, I could buy a screen from ICOM and replace the screen on the 5100 myself. I probably could, and maybe I should. That's something that I don't do surface mount soldering because I don't solder well. So if there's surface mount, John, let me know. Is this something that is a plug and play deal, or am I going to need to be able to solder well? Just got back into the hobby. So Rodney here says, Rodney Cheek, just got back into the hobby now that I'm retired. My old FT470, which was state of the art at the time, seems so ancient. Yeah. Guys, something in ham radio that just always amazes me is the fact that you've got, and I get it, not everybody can afford to go out and buy a new radio when they come out. But they don't, it's not like every year, every manufacturer comes up with a new radio. And as a matter of fact, I would venture to say that almost all of you guys have a radio like this. And you probably buy a new one for $1,500, by the way, once a year, once every 2 or 3 years. I'm kind of on the 3-year plan with mine. So, because they come up with so much new stuff. And I get it, guys. In radio, it's, it's the key that makes the difference. It is the microphone, and they all do the same thing. Whether or not they have all the new bells and whistles. And I get it that, especially those of us that are on a fixed income, you can't afford it all the time to be buying radio after radio. That part I get. And if that is your, not excuse, but if that's your reasoning that you can't afford it, I get it. Totally get it. Ham radio's got to come far below eating and paying the rent. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Lawrence, I wish Kenwood would make a mobile version of the D74. Yeah, and several years ago, there was they did a poll, and I put it out on my channel that they were doing that poll, and they got quite a few responses. Would you buy one? And for whatever reason, now here's the thing about the Japanese companies. No matter what, they'll never admit they were wrong, because being wrong is losing face. And so they may quietly fix something. They may change it and call it an improvement. But they'll never admit that they made a mistake, either in putting something out or not putting something out. Everything is pre-planned and pre-done. Yeah, let's just leave that. Let's see, Ham Radio Guy. Let's see, he wants to see an FTD X10 style all mode UHF VHF rig. Yeah, would be cool. I think you're going to be upwards into that $2,500 to $3,000 range again, which now you're building a machine that competes with the FTDX 101. But, as far as I'm concerned, hey, the more the merrier. Again, you have to also understand that ham radios, they sell in the hundreds and thousands, not millions. So you don't, the manufacturers understand they have a limited market. So they can't just put out a $5,000 machine and say, hey, we're going to sell it for $1,500 and try to get every ham in the world to buy one. It just doesn't. It don't happen. Let's see. V3LKS, he thinks that getting rid of the FTM 400, going to the 500 is a step backwards. I don't know. The 400 is a great machine. I'm super impressed with the 400. So impressed with the 400 that I've got 3 of them. I own 3. One in the Jeep, one in the truck, one in here, and this one in here gets pulled out of here and stuffed into the motorhome when we take off. Prices are real high. James says prices are real high for the ham stuff. You know, it's relative. That is completely relative. I think $500 to $600 for a handheld. I think $500 to $600 for, $500 for this is upper end. It's not out of the question. Take your average police department, sheriff's office. They get the Motorola, APX 7000s and 8000s now at $7,000 a copy per radio. And they run with those things. They'll have them for several years, but still $7,000 to $8,000 a copy, and they're equipping, sometimes 1,000 officers or more in a lot of cases. So the price of a handheld, it's relative. 500 versus 5,000 or 7,000 or even $1,000 for older used stuff that I know a lot of departments still use. Let's see. God, and in other hobbies, let's just take my 2A hobby. The Hellcat. This is not in any way an expensive firearm, but add the little things like like an optic here, add more magazines, add all kinds of other stuff, and it adds up. I just bought a Springfield Prodigy, $1,500. Love that because I wanted to get back into a 1911, but I'm wearing shorts today. It's going to be hot out, or it is hot out, and the 1911 is a little bit heavy to carry in a pair of shorts, so I don't. God, what else? What else do we want to talk about? Great comments, guys. Let's see. We want to see a Yaesu 705 equivalent, and how many years will it take? That's something I've been thinking about lately, is how these different manufacturers are kind of going in different directions and releasing things in different directions. I think ICOM is really trying to position itself as the leader in active portable communications, and by pushing the 705 and the 905 now to the extent that they haven't done much, if any, updates for the 7300, the 7610, which is, I won't call it the flagship because the 7800, I guess, is the flagship, but that's a $10,000 radio. Even if it cooked you dinner, that has a very limited market, even within the ham radio community. If you took every ham in the world and you said, okay, here's the lineup going from top to bottom. It's a long way down to get to where I can afford some of those radios. Same thing with that Kenwood 990. What was it? The TS 990 or 991? I don't know. But it's a $10,000 rig. I just can't afford a $10,000 rig. And I would consider myself one of those hams that I'm the marketplace. These manufacturers, they sell me lots of stuff so I could bring it to you, so I can enjoy my own hobby. But mainly so I could bring it to you. I can only use one handheld at a time. And, generally, this isn't my favorite handheld, but it does everything that I want it to do. It does APRS, real APRS, which is a big deal, which gives it, to me, a leg up over the ICOM. It doesn't give it a leg up over the D74, but the D74 cost me so much, and I'm so afraid of breaking the thing, of dropping it on the ground, that I don't take it out as often as I would want to. Also, like I said before, fusion is that's the dominant theory here in southern Idaho. So it doesn't make sense for me to use D-Star as a favorite handheld, because everything I do on D-Star is off a hotspot. Let's see. What else we got? Thumbs up. What frequency am I on? I'm on, I guess right now, just my YouTube frequency. As you could see over here, and we'll, all the radios are off because I was just finishing up. Oh my God. I gotta do this. Oops, that didn't work. Now did it? Crap. Give me a second here. There we go. I have to plug this. 2A News in 2 minutes, guys. Over on Rumble. I've got it partially posted. It's not 100% posted. But I'm trying out a new thing. I'm going to take one or two newsworthy stories and bring them to you on Rumble. If you're a 2A fan, if you're into the Second Amendment, I invite you over to my K6UDA channel, or K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio over on Rumble. Stuff that I really won't even, it just isn't worth it to bring it to you over here, because YouTube hates your rights. They hate your constitutional rights. So, back over here and back over to there. Let's just see. Tell us, what is my favorite handheld? Okay, so Chris wants to know what is my favorite handheld. And the favorite handheld, well, it's over there. It's up there on the shelf next to my Wires X and everything. That is the D74, favorite handheld, as far as just purely a user-driven experience. I love that. Love that radio. Let's see. Anything. Display's tiny, but it looks like a nice radio. Let's see. Life and Death. Always good for a comment. We'll give you a $100 coupon and pay your license exam if you buy one of our radios within 30 days of the test. Wow. Oh, yeah. The Japanese are building radios. I think they build radios, number one, for their market. And I don't blame them. If U.S. manufacturers were building radios, they're building their radios first for the U.S. market because they are Japanese. They think like a Japanese for Japanese. They believe that Japanese are the best. I don't know. Andy Callie in there. What's happening, my brother? And let's see. Have I seen the D75? I saw the videos. I saw Don Arnold with the D75, or I guess the I don't know, whatever. And looks impressive. I'm impressed. I don't know if I'm impressed enough to buy a D75 and hang on to a D74. I don't know if if there's enough features, enough new or improved features to warrant buying another super high-end radio. And you guys got to remember, the D74 has it, besides having 2 meter, 440, 220 that you can all talk and listen to, it has a wideband receiver. So, and I've done this, hook it up to your HF antenna or a long wire, and you could drag in 20 meters on a handheld. It's cool. It is cool. So when the bands are in and you want to listen and you want to impress people, you could pull that thing out and you can listen to 40 meters. You can listen to 20 meters or 10 meters. What would really sell me on that is if it did 10 meters, I would go, holy shit, gotta buy one. Yeah, I'm buying right now. Yeah. So let's see. Let's take a quick look here. How do I feel about the current state of innovation or lack of innovation in the ham radio industry? I would say, it's not the cell phone industry. It ain't like the cell phone industry. I mean, these things double or triple in capacity every year because this, you pay $1,500 for this, and people are buying these every year, every 2 years at $1,500. So they've got to pack in such a ton of features, such a ton of camera and building megapixels and making 4K video, because this is running around in people's pockets. Damn near everybody is carrying some kind of a smartphone, and some of them might be 4 or 5 years old, but honestly, it's that is what everything is got to be measured by right now in innovation. So my iPhone 13 here, how many millions of these get sold at $1,500 a pop? Tons. millions are being sold. My FT5, how many thousands are being sold of this? Or let's take the ICOM IC705 over here. Great radio, love that radio. Probably one of my favorite ICOM radios of all time. But really, how many of these things get sold? And when they design it, they know that the ham radio market is not the cell phone market. It's not even the PC market or Mac computer market. There are a little under or over 1 million hams in the United States. I think a few years ago it was like 800,000. So let's call it 1 million ham radio enthusiasts in the United States, and maybe 5 million worldwide that are into ham radio. So, how much innovation can a manufacturer afford to pack in? This is why we're still seeing mini USB on a lot of radios. This is why we don't have USB 3.0 on every radio that's come out in the last 2-3 years, because they can't afford it. If it adds $1 to the cost of the radio, to their hard cost of the radio, that's probably $2 that we would have to shell out. One for the manufacturer, one for innovation, whatever that is. I don't know. So I'm not surprised. I don't get surprised of the lack of innovation, and I don't think it's because I don't think it's the fault of the manufacturers. I think it just has to do with the numbers. There isn't the numbers to pack all the goodies that you want to pack into all the toys, and then only sell 5,000, 10,000. That would suck as a manufacturer. Let's see. What else do we got here? Life and death. T-Mobile and Starlink are testing T-Mobile phones that will switch to Starlink totally off-grid broadband when there's no cell coverage. It's going to hurt HF radio. It might take a small chunk out of HF radio. Apple in the iPhone 14 has done that, where you can run off of satellites, but you can only run off satellites to call 911. You can't I can't call my Uncle Fred from the top of a mountain with no cell service on the satellite system. Now I can if I want to buy a satellite phone, but that market for those satellite phones and the market for their service is so small. It's infinitesimally small compared to the cell phone market, compared to the ham radio market even. More phones are not going to hurt ham radio. Starlink specifically has so many issues with billing and accessibility. It's junk and very confusing. Okay, well, I haven't really looked into Starlink. I haven't seriously looked into satellite phones or anything beyond. Wow. I've got. Oh, that must be Mrs. K6UDA out there doing her thing. What do I have? I've got one of the, the Garmin GPSs basically with a built-in spot. So, and I've never activated the spot. Here, let me go get it, turn it on. So, this is the Garmin that I've got. And I don't think that this is going to take any kind of a bite out of ham radio. Let's see. Here's the on-off switch on top. So I seriously doubt that this thing is going to take any kind of a bite out of ham radio or out of HF. And I doubt that a cell phone with off-grid capabilities will too, because honestly, the guys that are buying those things for that off-grid capability are the same guys that know that the government or some other government can flip a switch and turn it all off. And, yep. And they can't turn off your HF. Now, you can pop off a nuke and screw up propagation for a while. They could probably fry a lot of HF radios if they wanted to. They would fry these two, but they might not fry the one that I have put away in a can. So, those of us that are thinking of those things, that's what we get. That's our train of thought is, no, these things are nice. This is a a nicety. It's not a necessity. This, I think, other than if it gets blown up or fried by an EMP, that's where I'm headed, off grid or in an emergency.
Are you live?
I am live, hon.
Well, there's a huge rock check just right outside the door.
Oh. There's a huge rock chuck right outside the door. and I love to shoot rock chucks. That's one of my favorite hobbies because they destroy. Cute little critters, but man, destructive. I'll tell you what, they dig holes in my yard that literally I can crawl into. I can literally put half my body into the holes that they dig. And generally, I shoot them with an air rifle, just so I don't piss off all the neighbors. I bought a can. I did buy, it's called a Sparrow for rimfire, and I put it on my 17 HMR. And because that projectile moves so fast, it doesn't really do anything with the can. It doesn't quiet it very much at all. Let's see. Alexander says, yeah, the cell phone has its uses. isn't interested in point-to-point as a hobby, as it is utilitarian. We don't randomly call strings of numbers to see if we can talk. Nope, we don't. And that's something unique in ham radio, is our willingness to engage with total strangers about a common interest. And it's generally about that common interest. Yeah. Good conversation here in the comments section. This is guys, this is my biggest hurdle about getting the 2A end of this up on Rumble, is I can't get the comments to work, and that sucks. That's a huge part for me of the live show. But anyway, we are fast approaching that 1 o'clock hour, and I want to thank you guys for joining. Once again, I'm gonna go ahead and make a pitch. Go find me on Rumble, guys, for the K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio channel, where I will post this video, and hopefully, if you're watching, if you stumbled upon this, please go watch it on Rumble. Please go check me out on Rumble. I'm kind of getting started over there, like I said, but it's more 2A kind of stuff that I want to really push. And again, all my cameras kind of screwed up here, and I can't bring this up. Okay. Well, anyway, there it is. Hang on here. Let me take that out, put that up, bring in camera. There we go. Bring my comments back, and all is good. Guys, you know what? If you enjoy this stuff, if you enjoy watching me, please consider helping out. Because everything goes right back into the show in some way or another. It's not like I'm not, if I was using the money I get from making this show and the Rumble show, I might be able to buy dinner for the wife once a month. That's a nice dinner once a month. Let's see. Captain Wrong Way. Yep. Life, it has been nice. I'm going to go ahead and go back here. K6UDA. Is K6UDA on Rumble or a fake account? No pic that I could see. Yeah, it is K6UDA K6UDA Radio. I don't know if it's K6UDA or K6UDA Radio. Give me a quick second here. Let me go over here. It does have a picture of me. There is a picture of me in my red shirt with my FT5. Do have to tell you that. So, God bless always. Dude, thank you. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Let's call it good for today, guys. Thanks for having me back. Thanks for coming over and listening for the noontime hour. Anyway, there are 3 K6UDA accounts. Holy crap. I'll have to go check that out. V3LKS, thank you for the info. I will definitely go check that out. Yeah, not the same without the sexy ladies who used to visit. They all live in California. Anyway, guys, I will catch you on the regular K6UDA show or over there on Rumble during the week, 2A in 2 minutes. Catch you later, guys. I'm Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3.